Mother Tongue Literacy and Development 2, DPP MT2 English. I want to stress that you must always put on your exam paper and on the assessment paper this DPP MT2 English. It is presented by Mrs. Botha, Anna Marie Botha. Congratulations and welcome to Mother Tongue Literacy Development 2. In this module, the focus is on the importance and ways to develop children's listening and speaking skills. These listening and speaking skills are also enhanced through certain language activities that promote later reading competency as well. In addition, we shall look at materials you as teacher should have to support your teaching and help children develop key strategies and concepts. The concept in this module is an important stepping stone for children to build up a strong foundation for good reading later, and if you apply it in your class, the children of our nation will have a better future. A teacher can have the most beautiful teaching aids, but if they are not used effectively and in supportive ways, the goal of the lesson will not be achieved. By the end of this module, you should be able to Unit 1, develop listening skills of pre-primary children. Unit 2, develop their speaking competencies. Unit 3, develop their preparating reading competencies. Unit 4, develop incidental reading competencies. Unit 5, develop materials for teaching and determining skill development. Unit 1. Listening is one of the most important skills you can learn and teach children to have. How well children and you listen has a key influence on learning and doing tasks correctly, and on the quality of relationships with others. 1. Why is listening an important skill? This is very important. The first one, we listen to obtain information. 2, we listen to understand. 3, we listen for enjoyment. And 4, we listen to learn. Page 11 is exit learning outcomes. On completion of this unit, you should be able to describe the development of skills in auditory perception and discrimination. Describe the development of phonic awareness skills. Describe the development of phonemic awareness skills in the second one, and the third one for phonic awareness skills. Describe the development of listening attentively and responding appropriately. Describe the development of children's imagination and desire to hear stories and rhymes and songs. This is what we expect from page 11, the exit outcomes. Page 15, in your study guide, the basic skills for reading and writing are 1. Hearing and identifying sounds, phonemic awareness. Then number 2, learning the letter sounds and what they look like in print. This is phonics, and what the alphabet name is. 3, learning letter formation. 4, blending. 5, identifying sounds in words. 6, spelling those tricky words later on. Page 18, they mention 5 good reasons for teaching listening. To help children develop an ear for language. Example, hearing the phonemes and being able to discriminate between them and learning to value well-used vocabulary. The next one, to learn to listen for different purposes in and out of school. Example, to consider the truth in the message they hear. To hear the beautiful language of poetry, followed instructions. Next one, help children become aware of what they think while listening. Next one, to increase learning through effective listening. And the last one, to make children aware how reading and listening are alike and different. Example, construct meaning from what they hear spoken and read, and that with reading one can go back and verify information areas. With listening, you have to remember what was heard. There is a misperception that listening develops naturally and need not to be taught and cannot be taught. That it will use unnecessary time to teach it. That is not an important subject in the syllabus, and because teachers have not been trained to teach listening, they do not do it. This is a misconception. Some general guidelines for teaching listening are: set a purpose for listening. Tell the children what they should listen for. Example, every time they hear the name of a character, they hold up the picture. Set the stage and hear your expectations for their listening. Example, create a suitable distraction-free environment. Set up purpose for listening, telling the children what will be expected after they listened. Follow up after listening and let children show that they carried out the instructions before listening started. Example, put the pictures in a sequence of the story, telling a new fact they learned, etc. Make listening activities short and meaningful because young children cannot concentrate for so long. Integrate listening activities with other meaningful experiences during the day. Demonstrate listening skills yourself by attending when children speak and responding to them with respect. Avoid repeating your own or children's responses. This will make children used to listening carefully the first time they hear it. Make sure all are attending when you talk or when children are addressing the group. Page 21 in your study guide. Describe the development of children's imagination and desire to hear stories, rhymes and songs. From an early age, children need to hear rhymes, children's songs, and experience the listening to stories as fun and special sharing times. Adults, that is teachers, need to participate actively with the children. Now, choose books and stories that are familiar and are about things that the child sees every day. Let the children choose what to do and allow them to turn the pages or handle the book if they want to, and show them how to. Sometimes the stories can be read or told without showing pictures or other teaching aids. This invites the child to create own images in their mind. Provide a choice for the children about what they want to do and listen to. They can choose the book or books to page through. While reading a story to children, when aloud, stop now and then to point at the pictures, letters or words, or show the pictures relating to the letters or words. Invent enjoyable games. Example, where is the B hiding on this page? Ask the child to tell what he or she sees in the mind's eye. How they think the old man looked or how the dog looked when it was attacking the burglar, etc. Show or model to the children that you read books and other texts and tell them what you learn or read. Show enthusiasm and excitement about a new story or a book. At page 23 in your study guide, a teacher should pay attention if she suspects that a child has hearing or listening problems. There are quite a few activities that a teacher can do with a child or group to determine how well children can hear. Name the activities. There, on that page, you can go through and see if you can find or can help you to identify children with problems. I'm not going to read through this. You can go through it on your own time. In Unit 2, the exit learning outcomes will be: explain methods and materials on how to develop pre-primary children's desire to communicate. Explain what communication skills involve. Explain and demonstrate storytelling skills. Identify questioning skills that monitor understanding before, during, and after listening to the stories. Select and clarify the meaning of mother tongue idioms and expressions. Discuss methods and materials that facilitate development of speaking and vocabulary. Example, stories, information books, talking in groups, dramatizing or role play. Describe how to identify speaking difficulties and provide support. State the syllabus guidelines for addressing speaking competencies. Explain key public speaking, presentation skills needed by teachers. Now we are on page 28 of your study guide, and this is very important because there will be maybe a question about what is tackling. Make sure that you give attention. Tackling, that means carrying stories about others to the teacher or complaining about others' behavior. Should be handled correctly to help. This should be handled correctly to help address the problem by acting assertively. Tackling is not a positive way of communicating. Remember that. Page 31, there are some ideas for games where language use is essential. Translate to the mother tongue if you want to. The game I Spy. This game develops vocabulary and phonemic awareness. The teacher can start by saying, I spy with my little eye something beginning with It should be something in the class or a decided topic. Children guess what the one says, who says Matt is corrected and then repeat the sequence. I spy with my little eye something beginning with B. Then they must say, for instance, book. The magic box or magic bag. This is important. You can also put a number it like 1, put familiar objects in a decorated box or an attractive bag. 2, one child may put his or her hand into the box and select an object without looking or seeing it. 3. He or she must feel the object and describe it to the class. 4. The class have to guess what the object is. And 5. Then the object is shown and the whole class discussed it. The next one, who or what am I? After a lesson, example parts of the body or my family, where the teacher displayed the key words for incidental reading, the following game can be played. The key words will remain on display next to the object they describe. The teacher writes duplicates of these words and pins a word to the back of each child. Each child has to go around and try to find out who or what he is by asking questions. He or she may not ask what the word is, but has to ask questions. Example, does the word start with a Can you kick a ball with it? Will it be on my face? The questions may only be answered with yes or no by the peers. When the child guesses correctly, he or she can paste the word in a book and draw a picture of it. Using the alphabet to make words, the teacher writes the alphabet letters that are mostly familiar on the board. The class is divided into 2 groups. Make sure that the letters is only in lowercase. A child from group A can say a word that starts with a, example, ant. Then a child from group B makes a word with another letter, example, b, book. A letter may only be used once. See which group has the most points. Find the object. The teacher selects objects of which children know the names and puts them on a table, in a box or under a chair. The class is divided into 2 groups. The teacher calls out a name of an object and where it has been placed. Example, the red pencil is under the chair. One child has to find it and say, this is a red pencil. Then that group gets a point. If the instruction cannot be carried out, the other group takes the turn. The singing game, teach the tune of Brother Michael. This game refreshes the use of verbs and tenses are used naturally. Divide the class in 2 groups. The teacher gives the clue. Can you dance? Can you dance? Second group, yes we can, yes we can. Look at us, we're dancing, look at us, we're dancing. We can dance, we can dance. Other verbs can also be used like can we jump, or any other like clap or bow or write or read, jump, walk, talk, etc. Catch the ball game. The children stand in a circle and the teacher gives each the name of a color. There can be a few children with the same color name. Then the teacher calls out a color, example, red, and throws a ball up. All the reds try to catch the ball. The one who catches it scores a point. The other colors are called in the same way. Instead of colors, the teacher can call out days of the week, months of the year, alphabet letters, etc. On page 33, in the language center or corner, There should be pictures and books of familiar stories that children can use to retell or reread to others. With these spontaneous opportunities created by the teacher, language is practiced, and because children do it by own choice, it becomes a powerful incentive to communicate. Page 33, explain what communication skills involve. 1. Communication skills are determined by the level of language skills of the speaker. 2. This involves vocabulary range and grammar structures of the language. 3. Listening is a receptive action that requires the listener to decode the sounds. And 4. Interpret what was heard in order to make sense. The ears hear, but the mind interprets. Speaking is an expressive action and requires the encoding of a message in order for the listener to 7. Comprehend what is meant, or to 8. Respond appropriately and meaningfully to something addressed to the learner. On page 33 also, in the pre-primary classroom, the following language skills are expected according to Warner and Sauer, 2005. Children should speak well enough for others to comprehend and the conversation or what is told. There may be a few speech errors, but overall the message can be understood. Children can participate in the give and take of conversational speech. Give another a chance to speak, make contributions and share opinions, etc. Children can listen to others and make responses when asked to. Children can retell familiar stories with a few prompts. Children can partake in small and large group discussions. Children can express their needs and make simple requests. Children can respond appropriately to questions they are asked. And children use appropriate vocabulary and increase the vocabulary range. On page 37, select and clarify the meaning of mother tongue idioms and expressions. Each language has idioms and expressions that use language figuratively and explain concepts creatively. Some idioms and expressions are found in different languages. Example, new brooms sweep clean is found in Afrikaans and German as well. Figurative language helps children comprehend stories on a deeper level when it is used there. Now here are a few of these figuratively idioms. Below the belt. That means an action or remark describe how below the belt means that it is considered unfair or cruel. Politicians sometimes use personal information to hit their rivals below the belt. Tighten your belt. If you need to tighten your belt, you must spend your money very carefully. When you spend too much money during a holiday, I'll have to tighten my belt this month. The other one, under one's belt. If you have something under your belt, you have acquired experience or have satisfactorily achieved something. you've got to have some work experience under your belt before you can hope to get a permanent job. To die with one's boots on. A person who dies with his boots on dies while still leading an active life. He shall or she'll never retire. He'd rather die with his boots on. Get too big for your boots or your bridges. To say that a person is getting too big for their boots means that they are behaving as if they were more important than they really are. Tom's really getting too big for his boots since he got a promotion. He hardly says hello anymore. The other one, hang up your boots. When a sport player hangs up his boots, he stops playing and retire. This expression is often used to refer to retirement in general. Dad says he's going to hang up his boots at the end of the year. Lick someone's boots. To say that one person licks another person's boots means that they are trying to please that person, often in order to obtain something. Cap in hand. If you do something cap in hand, you ask for something in a very respectful manner. They went to the teacher, cap in hand, and asked for more time to complete their project. Put on your thinking cap. If you tell somebody to put their thinking cap on, you ask them to find an idea or solve a problem by thinking about it. A feather in one's cap. To describe someone's achievement as a feather in their cap means that it is something they can be very proud of. Hot under the collar. If you get hot under the collar, you feel annoyed, indignant, or embarrassed. Off the cuff. If you speak of off the cuff, you say something without any previous thought or preparation. Fit like a glove. If something fits you like a glove, it fits you perfectly. Page 39, dialogic storytelling. Dialogic storytelling is a method in which picture books or illustrations alone are used. During this dialogic storytelling process, the children are required to make up the story based on the pictures. The teacher will act as a facilitator or guide and prompt with questions or hints. Photos or trips the class took or wordless picture books are ideal for this type of story creations. Using concrete objects or children's interests. Children talk about the object and the teacher elaborates on their responses by providing new vocabulary or longer sentences with adjectives and adverbs added. Flannel board stories, this can be used very oftenly in storytelling. The teacher can photocopy pictures or characters from familiar books and paste them onto felt material. These pictures can be placed on a flannel board in the language center, and the children use them to retell the stories with their favorite characters. Telephone. Discarded telephones or cell phones can be encouraged telephone conversations. Story reading. After a story was read, ask children about their favorite part of the story or favorite characters. Skits. That is role play. Skits are shortened versions of a familiar that mostly consists of dialogue parts. Children can be helped compile the skits with suggestions and then act out the skits. Children groups can also orally make up their own skits and perform it for the class. Storytelling sessions. Children love to hear stories about their teacher and his or her family. The teacher can bring photos of her family or the dog or something. Children can do the same. Other storytelling sessions can be about your first pet, a time when they got into trouble, a hobby, your favorite toy, gifts received, or other experiences. Family heroes or favorite family members are also good topics for children to talk about. Character inquiries. One child presents to be a character from a story who visits the class, and the rest ask questions which the character has to answer. Experts. Children can require to find out more about a given or selected topic by asking parents and families, browsing through information books, etc. Thus, they became the expert on a certain topic. The class asked them questions about that topic, gain knowledge and earn new vocabulary. Letter stories. A child can draw an alphabet letter from a bag. The class names the letter and the sound it makes in words. Then children create a story which contains many words starting with or containing that letter. Or the story can be revolved around an object that starts with that letter. The story should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Remember? Summary. Communication skills involve more than mere talking. Correct vocabulary and grammar use are only one aspect. Good listening skills lead to good reading skills later, and storytelling and story reading from books are very important. Skills that are very important skills a pre-primary teacher should use effectively. We will continue with Unit 3 to 5 in the next presentation.